Okay, so we had a mother call us that had been referred to us from a psychologist and about her 4-year-old little girl. And she had gone in and had some testing done, and they were at a breaking point. They didn't really know about, cognitive testing and whatnot, but from the results that they gathered, something was obviously wrong. She had a lot of attention and anxiety issues, as well as like fine and gross motor occupational issues. She had been seeing an OT, and they were having some success, but not really. It was more so they were having to backtrack a lot, and they just kind of weren't getting more. They weren't seeing a lot of progress in a shorter amount of time. And so she was referred to us, and she came in, and as a parent, you just want your child to be successful. And whatever they do, just successful. But at that point, where do you send your kid? The mom just came to us and thought, what can y'all offer? What can we do for her to make sure that she can actually go into kindergarten? We thought, this little girl has a shot, but we've got to get all of this anxiety and focus and attention in order, because hiding under the table isn't going to do you anything in kindergarten. We put her on the brain jogging program, and at that point, at 4, you're kind of learning the basics of reading. And from the day that she walked in to 3 months later, I'd say 90 days down the road, the child was reading multisyllabic words. And we saw her vocabulary, because when she walked in, she had a very high verbal vocabulary. But the reading wasn't there. You can't understand how awesome it is until you've used the program to where this little girl would come into our waiting room and hide under a table because she was just so anxious and had all these occupational issues. I would say less than a month we were going, wow. And for her to walk in, sit down, do her brain jogging without even being asked almost, it was just like she just went into a routine. And we see that the families that have the most success are the ones that maintain that routine. And so it's kind of at levels and higher levels. And each time they do it, it's like a personal achievement. It really changes their outlook on how they learn and in how they feel successful. We're going to work in our office and help her and support her as much as we can, but knowing that they're compliant at home and have that routine and consistently add in new word lists and information and want to make sure that their child is making the progress that we had just noted in that first meeting, that we wanted to set those goals and now we're achieving them. Everybody can see the decrease in anxiety. And when your child is wanting to read and excited about reading, who wouldn't come in the door and say, can you believe that she wasn't reading 3 months ago, and now we've mastered those CVC words and we're moving on to multisyllabic, and then a book isn't extremely challenging to look at anymore. And we saw her vocabulary just expand dramatically, and she started reading the words on the screen. And it got to be where we would help her, and she was like, no, I have it. It went from attention and focus being a huge issue to, I don't need your help. I don't want your help. I have it. And so watching her progress and even mature, and to watch that anxiety decrease, and for mom and dad to see it, and for the teachers in the school to say, wow, we have a totally new child in your class. So it's almost like she's even taken a step ahead of her peers in the same environment that she's in right now. And she's going to move on to a really great school, and knowing that she has not only this brain jogging tool that will help her as she goes from first grade to second grade, it grows with the child and the student, but also she's going to walk in the door knowing so much more than her parents could have ever thought or imagined. And not knowing that your kid had all these issues and getting that testing back, and then there are all these red flags to the point of where we are now, it's just a 180.